Story time.
I started back, what was it? Year 2006, the fall race at Talladega. They just recently repaved it. Going out back straight, Dale Jr.'s leading, Jimmy Johnson behind him, and there's that cocksucker Brian Vickers right behind him in third place. Jimmy Johnson pulls out to make the pass. Brian Vickers, being a talentless hack that he is, breaks Johnson, turns him into Junior, basically screws Junior out of win, screws Johnson out of win, and Brian Vickers goes on to win. And you're saying, well, what the fuck does this have to do with your ex? Well, she was at that race, and I blame her for Brian Vickers doing something stupid, which caused Dale Jr. to lose. Fast forward a couple months, yeah, it was about, several months, actually. It's the, let's see where we're at. February is during the Budweiser shootout. Me and my friend, we're sitting there talking. And I kind of want to start a band, because there's this other girl I'm interested in. Let's call her Laura. Now, I liked her and stuff like that. I knew she had a thing for guys who play music and stuff like that. And I figured, ooh, if I start a band, maybe I should, get her to notice me. So I talked to my friend who played guitar. And another person I knew who played drums. So I was like, well, how about I learn bass? We get there, we make a band. We get this, we get Laura in it, and something will happen, and we'll be together. Yay! So we get the band started, get the bass guitar, we get the band together. Laura doesn't show up to any of the band practices whatsoever, and she eventually leaves. Well, my friend, let's call him, was talking to this other girl who played guitar, who was my ex. Let's say that her name was Jamie. So they're kind of talking to each other, I guess, and know each other. She can play guitar. Well, my friend Neil can't play lead whatsoever. He can play rhythm, he can't play lead guitar. We need a second guitarist. Well, she can play lead. So my friend, the drummer, let's call him Dylan, he comes up to me, and he's like, yo, hey, can Jimmy join the band? And of course, me being stupid, I don't know who the hell she is, but I want to be nice. I'm taking the Paragon route. I can't be Renegade Revan. I could be Paragon Revan. So I say, yeah, sure, she can join. So, whatever. Shut up, what if. God, I fucking hate it when you do that, because you throw me off so fucking badly. But, anyway, we're in for recess. This was 2007 now. I think it's either late March or early April. Sitting there with Neil and his soon-to-be girlfriend, Jamie. And I'm sitting there talking. This is the first time I ever meet the girl, and we're talking to her. He goes like, oh, he would have liked you. You was an emo chick. Haha, that kind of a joke to me for whatever reason. They thought I like emo girls, but whatever. And then it was kind of a joke. And we get, and a couple days after that, we get the band practice. This girl actually shows up. Yeah, she borrowed my friend's, Neil's guitar, or his second guitar, and she starts playing, and she's actually good, and she's better than Neil, and we're playing along, writing music, stuff like that. But, however, there's a problem. Neil and Jamie start lovey-dovey on each other. He's sitting in his lab, and they're holding hands all the time, and they got to the point where we're no longer playing music. They're playing with each other, and me and Dylan are sitting there with our dicks in our hands, and like, what the hell's going on? Why can't we do anything? It's a joke. We didn't actually put our hands on our dicks. No, it did not happen.
What?
But anyway, so, this goes on. One day we went over to Florence, Kentucky. There was a Hot Topic there. Don't ask me why. We went over there. She wanted to get stuff for prom. I'm like, okay, you're going shopping for prom. Why in the hell are you going to Hot Topic out of all fucking places? This is like some kind of gothic emo prom. Or we going to go there and The Cure is going to start playing, shit like that. There'll be fucking raven birds flying over the place. I don't know, or poetry night or some shit like that. But, I'm there and it's like, who cares about anybody else? It's us. It's us time. You know, who cares about the band? Who cares about music? We want to fucking all the time. We go problem, and it's got to the point like, well, if you're not going to be in a band and play music, what's the point of you being there? And I went up to my friend and I was like, yo, dude, if you don't have a relationship with this girl, that's alright, but don't be fucking hugging, doing all this shit while we're playing. And he got super pissed at me, which he probably should have, because, you know, I was basically telling him how to live his life. So he's like, okay, I'll just leave the band. Okay. And, you know, his girlfriend follows suit with him. Dylan, the drummer, leaves, and basically I got kicked out of the band because as soon as everyone left the band, they got back together without me. So essentially they kicked me out, which is probably what they should have done. So that was the band thing. We spent the whole summer not talking to each other and all that other crap, and, you know, dull and boring. And when we get back from school, this is like my senior year, I meet up with them again, and they're actually really nice to me. Like, why the fuck you guys so nice to me for? Like, oh, well, I didn't actually my name was nice to me, but they, you know, I was like some stuff like, why are they so nice to me? I don't understand it. But anyway, we're friends again, blah blah blah. We made up and everything like that, and they started like, yeah, so we don't like Neil's girlfriend anymore. They broke up. I'm like, really? Why? There's this local fair in town, and Neil and Jamie went there, and Jamie wants to hang out with her friends. Neil wants to hang out with his friends. They're not the same people. Neil wants to hang out with his friends, bring Jamie with him. Jamie wants to hang out with her friends and bring Neil with her. And they got in some argument or some fight, and they broke up. And I guess some other shit happened I wasn't aware of. And now none of them like Jamie whatsoever. They hate her now. So the school year went on. It was kind of uneventful. And I think it was in December of 2007. We're still in 2007 here. I'm going for the hallways, about to go to my next class. And I pass by her, and she looks at me and says, like, hey, Jay. I'm like, hey, Jamie, I don't know why you're talking to me. I said to myself as she walked past. I'm like, that was weird. Why is she talking to me? There's no reason to. So this went on for about a couple of weeks. Fucking fuckers. Shut the fuck up, cock leaving. Anyway, but I went to a basketball game with Neil, Dylan, all those guys. About to leave. Did he just leave the party? Yeah, he did.
Yep.
Yeah, he's playing iRacing, so he's got better things to do. But you know, we're at ball game. The basketball game is over. I don't remember my team won or lost. I don't care. Well, after the ball game, we went to the band room because, you know, I went in with the band. I got into all basketball games for free because I went in with the band. They thought I was a part of the band. I wasn't a part of the band. I was a groupie. Which, being a groupie to the school band, it's probably the lamest fucking groupie you can possibly be. But anyway, we're back in the band room. We were waiting for our parents to pick us up. And, like, I would go with Neil, Dylan, all those guys. I would go with them, go to their house, or I could stay in the band room. I don't know what came over me. Like, I'll stay in the band room, wait for my dad to pick me up. I'm like, alright. So they all scuzzle out. Everyone leaves except for 3 people. Me, Jamie, and one of her best friends. At this exact moment, I got fucking double teamed. Because we're there, and she's like so fucking nice to me for no reason at all. I don't understand it. And I'm like, am I kind of like the reason why the band that we had broke up and you're being this nice to me? Unless, ooh, who does Neil doesn't like? Ooh, this guy, I could piss him off again with this dude. So she's being nice to me and all this shit, and I'm like talking shit to her fans, and they're like, I like Linkin Park, and I like Nickelback, like, those fucking bands suck, which they do. You know, she was, you know, being really nice to me. My dad thankfully picked me up, and I got in a car with Dad. I'm going back to my place. I'm like, that was weird. Why is she so nice? mean to me, but whatever. So, I think it was like a couple days later, when we go into the school in the morning, we wait in gym. We wait there for like 30 minutes before we go to our class. I'm just sitting there just chilling. You know, I'm not a morning person whatsoever. Anybody who knows me in real life can tell you I hate the morning. Never will like it. When I wake up, I'm groggy as grumpy as hell. But I'm sitting there kind of like halfway out of it because I don't get any sleep at all. And she comes in, and the first thing I notice, she's wearing a trench coat. I'm like, bitch, do you remember Columbine, how those kids came in their trench coats and they brought out some machine gun and started shooting everybody? But she comes in with a trench coat, guess who she sits right next to? Right next to me. And she starts talking to me. I'm like, you can talk to me all you want, but I'm not going to reply back because it's the morning. I don't talk in the morning. I'm like, but she's talking to me like, here's a piece of gum. And she's like being all nice to me, like, okay, what the fuck was that all about? And, you know, when it got to the point where I leave class and right before I'll leave to go back to my cousin's house because I spend like 3 hours at my cousin's house before my parents picked me up, you know, after in school, she like talked to me then, and I don't understand why she's talking to me unless she had a thing for me. I didn't realize it at first, but it started getting progressively worse and worse. Then there was I think it was district or regional. It was a district tournament. Yeah, it was a district tournament in the school next to our school. I was in. It was in the same county, but it was like 10 miles away. But so I go to the ball game. You know, I'm with the band, so I can get into the ball game for free. And I'm helping my friend set up the drums because he plays. You know, the drummer that was in my band is also the drummer for the school band. So I'm helping them set up the drum kit because, you know, like they're due, you know, I might as well help them. So we get done, send them the drum kit. So we're sitting there waiting for everyone to come up, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm talking to someone who's in the band across from me. I'm just sitting there, we're just talking. And here comes Jamie up. And I have no idea why, but she brought an acoustic fucking guitar to a fucking basketball tournament. Why the fuck do you bring an acoustic guitar to a basketball game is beyond me. No one's going to hear you play. He brought me over and across the basketball court, and I'm like, why the hell does that person have an acoustic guitar? No one's going to hear it. She's not even going to hear herself play unless you put your ear right next to the sound hole of it. And here she comes, with an acoustic guitar in hand. She rocks right next to me and just shoves me. Keeps walking. And I'm like, okay, this is starting to get a little bit more serious. And the guy I'm talking to across me, I'm like, dude, she really likes you. I'm like, really? No fucking shit. So the basketball game has started, and, you know, I'm sitting there with my friends. I look behind me, and I see her by herself with that acoustic guitar just strumming along. I'm like, I'm kind of curious what the hell this is all about. So I'll go up there. I sit next to my cousin who's sitting right in front of her. And I act like I didn't notice her, but, you know, I was trying to see if she would try to get my attention. So I go up there and sit next to her, and we're talking, and then she's like, "Oh, I know you play guitar," because I started playing guitar like late that summer, and I got my first 6th string. And so she gives me a guitar, and I start playing like, "Wow, that sounds really nice." I'm like, "How the fuck can you hear me play anything in here?" But you know, I'm sitting there next to her. Here's the weirdest thing, and this is not only will I remember it, but I will remember the feeling too as well. But when I was sitting next to her that whole time, because she's to my right, I had absolutely this weirdest sensation right on the right side of my body that was coming off from her. And it was basically my body telling me to get the fuck away from her. And like she had this smell to her, and I have no idea how to explain it any better than I could feel the smell of her on my right side of my body, which is just really weird. I didn't understand it, but you know, I got that feeling, and I got to have time. I was like, "Hey, I'll be right back," and I'm like, "I hope so," which I never came back for the rest of the game because I want to get the fuck away from her. And I tell my friends, like, "Dude, that was creepy, man." But this after the ball game, the next ball game, she didn't show up because that was the finals for the district, and my school was playing the big dog in that district. It was Mason County, and I don't know who Darius Miller is, but he played for Kentucky, and they just won the national championship. Darius Miller played for him. I watched Darius Miller play in his senior year in high school, and he was really fucking good. He fucking destroyed our fucking team. It was ridiculous. But she wasn't there that night. I left, and the whole thing about her talking to me in the morning, giving me a piece of gum, then talking to me in the afternoon when we left, that kind of repeated over for like a week or so. Then I'm in lunch one day with my friend, and I'm talking to him. I'm talking to him about her. And I'm like, dude, she's like passing me notes and shit and doing all this other crap. And we stopped talking. And I kid you not, 5 seconds later, she comes out of nowhere, hands me a letter, walks away, and my fucking friend who I was talking to had the dumbest fucking look on his face. He's like, wow, that really just happened. I'm like, yep, it just did. Like, you see what the fuck I'm talking about? But anyway, well, since we won the first game in the district, we went to the regional tournament for our basketball team. It was like in Fleming County or Flemingsburg. I'm not really sure exactly where it was. I think it was Flemingsburg. But that was kind of like about an hour drive, for a school bus. So at the end of the day, I'm going to the basketball game because I got nothing else better to do, and I want to do something like I want to test out how much this girl is really stalking me. So I go find her at the end of class. Well, she finds me. And we're talking, and I asked her, hey, you going to the basketball games tonight in Fleming County? She was like, no. I was like, oh, well, I am. And like, oh, well, I wasn't going to go. And she walks off and leaves, and I'm like, okay. And see if she actually goes to the basketball game now. I told her that I was going to go. So we go down to the band room, and, we're sitting there waiting for us to leave. It's like a 30-minute wait. There for a couple minutes, and sure enough, she pops in like, fuck, I knew it was going to happen. And my friend and me did something stupid, and they laughed their asses off at it, even though it wasn't really all that funny. And we got on the bus, and I tell my friend, like, yo, man, I want to stay away from her, because she's creeping me out. If she actually is following me to these basketball games, I'm kind of concerned, because she's turning into a stalker bitch. So we go to the basketball game. We are at the basketball game. Nothing happens. We're coming back to the basketball game. Well, we need something to eat. So we go to Burger King. So we're at Burger King. She's not sitting at the table with me, but she's sitting at the table next to me. She's talking to her friends about me. And she's saying good, and she's laughing about stuff that I'm doing. I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? Because I can, I'm not really paying attention to her, but I can hear my name, from her mouth every now and then with laughter, and I don't know what the fuck the deal was going on. But we go back. We get back to the school. We're waiting in the band building, like we did before, and everyone's there. We're all watching Jerry Springer. Don't ask me why we're watching Jerry Springer. Springer, I don't know his fucking name, but we're watching that show, and we're sitting there watching, and we're all in the line. This band room is about, I think, like 100 feet across. We got a line there, we're watching TV. There's about I would almost say about 20 to 25 feet of space to my right. She's about to leave. She goes to the bathroom. She comes out. She's leaving. I have no idea why, but she just kind of rubs up against me, grabs my ass, and just leaves. Doesn't say a word. It was just really weird. But,
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. I won't lie. Having a girl grab your ass is always great. But when she did that, hang on. But when she did that, it got to the point, I'm not really so much, I don't know if this girl wants to really get with me, I'm kind of concerned this girl just wants to fuck me. This is where it gets kind of weird, because this is her girl. You remember that Laura chick I was talking about who was in the band? Well, I was trying to get in the band, but she quit. I'm still trying to get with this girl a year later. So, like, well, I don't really want nothing to do with this girl. But I didn't really have a way of telling her. Because I was not prepared to handle the situation properly. But I think a week after that, there was going to be this trip, this FCCLA thing. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but they was going to have this trip over to Louisville. And as we went Monday, we stayed Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 3 days out of school. Go to a hotel, hang out there for 3 days, do absolutely nothing, hang out with your friends. I'm like, well, shit, let's go. Like, we had to pay like $100-some, I'm not sure at the exact amount that we had to pay, but it was up there. And I remember, well, Jamie's family isn't all that well off that I remembered. So if you're like, well, maybe she can't go, maybe she can't afford it. So this is like the Friday before. I'm like going through all the people, who signed up, like their permission slips, and I'm going through all, like, I don't see her name. She's not going. Yes. And I asked my friends, like, are you sure she's not going? Like, we're pretty sure she's not going. If she's not there, she's not going. Because you had to turn your shit in today. I'm like, thank you so much, God. I don't have to deal with this psycho girl for at least 3 days. So there's the weekend. We get to school on Monday, which we had to get there like an hour to 2 hours early because we was going to leave like really early in the morning. So we're there, just chilling. All of a sudden I hear this fucking familiar voice. I turn around like, oh my lord, you've got to be shitting me. Guess who shows up? Yep, Jamie shows up. I'm like, no, you're not supposed to be here. And she's so damn happy to see me. I'm like, hey Jane, like, ugh. And she brings out her laptop and like, look at all this stuff. I wish it would be for me. Because I can't watch it again without thinking about her. I'm like, well, time to turn this off. Time to watch porn. Click. But, laptop and shit like that. And she's got, and then, some music I gave her. I gave her a Tool CD just to see if she would like it or not. Because that was, that's my favorite band. I gave her a CD of some of their songs. Of course, she had it on there. Like, oh, now Tool's like one of my favorite bands. I'm like, no, they're not. I listen to music you listen to. You listen to that stuff. Cake. Yep. So I'll tell my story. But, like, I know what kind of music you listen to. You listen to rock, emo kind of shit. You don't listen to Tool. Don't. And not their favorite band, you're lying to me. But, anyway, we're about to leave. We're about to get on a bus. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll just put my shit in the seat with me so she doesn't sit next to me. So we get on the bus. Are you guys still listening? Who's still here? Head count.
Okay. I am.
Okay. Is Alex there?
Probably. He probably fell asleep so he can watch the F1 race.
I'll probably. This should carry us to the F1 race.
Anyways, continue.
Alright. Well, I'm on the bus. I'm hoping, please don't sit down next to me. I got my shit here. You shouldn't sit next to me. She gets on the bus, walks past me, and I'm like, yes. Okay, something's actually going right now. So she goes in the bag. I got my shit next to me. I'm like, okay, I'll just, it's like a thing from where I'm at to Louisville is like a 2-hour drive in a bus because, buses always take. I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Don't have to worry about her for at least 2 hours. So we're sitting on a bus, and all of a sudden I hear, Jay! I'm like, oh no. And she says, do you have like a seat next to you I can sit in, or can I sit next to you? I don't remember what saying. She said if I can sit next to you or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Because, I couldn't tell her no because I'm playing Paragon. I'm not doing my Renegade playthrough. I got treated like it's Mass Effect. But, I move my shit. She sits next to me, and, she's all happy-dappy and shit like that. So we're sitting there. We're getting ready to leave. She whips out her phone, And she looks at me with absolutely the straightest face, and she tells me, "You want to see my pussy?" I'm like, "Huh?" You know, like my jaw drop. I'm like, "Are you serious?" She opens up the picture on her phone. It's her cat. And she started giggling and started laughing at me, and like, wow. Like, you really had me there.
You just got trolled.
Yeah, I got trolled big time. It was funny, but I was kind of like, okay, that's when I started really thinking, like, hey, maybe this girl really does want to fuck me if she's talking about shit like that. Even if she was joking about it, the fact that she brought it up tells me, like, okay, I think I know what this girl really wants from me. But,
you got trolled.
Yeah, I got trolled. But, you know, she brings us one in, you know, to keep us warm, because it was actually really cold that morning. I think it was like in the 30s or 20s or some shit. And it was like in the middle of March, too, which is kind of weird for it being that cold. But it was cold that morning. So, you know, I'm figuring, like, well, you know what? I got my iPod with me. I'm going to listen to the Zone app. Put it over my earbuds, playing some music. I'm happily asleep. Listen to it, and I'm to it. Then she taps my shoulder. I'm like, what is it this time? So I take my earbuds out, and she was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, oh, you was acting really strange. I'm like, well, there goes some music ideas. So I had to take my music with like I'm crazy. Which I probably should have kept them in there to make her think I wasn't. But anyway, I'm going Paragon, not Renegade here. So, you know, I had to spend 2 hours right next to her talking the whole time. Just random, and she's got one of the newer Pokemon games on her DS. I think it was Pokemon Platinum or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't know what Pokemon color they're on to right now. But, you know, she's doing that, and we get off the, you know, she wants to hang out with me for the whole day. Then near the end of the day, we had to go to this big ballroom. There's like this big presentation, and there's this one dude who got up there, and his daughter died in a Columbine attacks. And this guy seriously spends 5 fucking hours talking about his daughter and how she was a martyr. Because, like, oh, she knew she's...
Aw, sad face. No. What if, how many minutes has it been?
I knew that was going to happen. His mic was lagging so bad it wasn't even funny.
Dude,
was it lagging like that on everybody else's? Everybody else?
Yeah, it was on mine.
I couldn't even hear him at some points. I knew he was about to lag out of the party, but I just given him another invite, so
he's gonna go on litter rage.
Hopefully he remembers his spot.
He was on some part about some guy talking about his daughter and something, I forgot.
His daughter that died in a Combine attack.
Oh, the Columbine attack?
Okay, where'd that lagged out at?
The guy that was telling, yeah, what if was right.
Okay, well, anyway, back where I was. Basically, this guy goes on a 5-hour fucking story about how great his daughter was, and it was boring as shit, and I just hated it. I don't know what her name was. I don't remember. No, it was not fun. It was really boring, really frustrating to listen to some dad talk about his daughter. Like, dad, like, fucking 9 years ago. Let it go, man. Whatever. So we go back to our rooms. She doesn't bother me. We go to sleep. We wake up the next day. The first half of the second day, which is Tuesday, was great because she was nowhere to be found. I was away from her. I was hanging out with my other friends, and we was like completely different areas of this hotel. And this hotel, by the way, is fucking huge. It's like one of those big conference hotels, like 5-star kind of things, big ballrooms, stuff like that, like 10 stories, shit. It was pretty crazy. But there's this one point where everyone kind of grouped up, and a group of my friends like, well, let's go down 4th Street. And anybody who lives in Louisville knows that 4th Street is kind of the place where everything. It's kind of like the entertainment kind of area of Louisville. I think. I don't know. That was the only part of Louisville I actually went into. But we went down 4th Street, and of course, Jamie and her friends had to follow me. Jamie's friends are like that class that he was in. There was 2 groups of people. There was kind of the preppy kind of girls that that play sports and all that kind of shit. Then there was this really small group of girls that were like kind of like the emo, kind of like depressing, like nerdy chicks. And Jamie was in that group, in the nerdy emo chick group. So she brought her group of friends with her. We're going out 4th Street, and we went into the Hard Rock Cafe. And we go in there, and of course I had to sit with them. It's my friends, so we got 2 tables. There was 8 of us. The first 4 of them instantly picked their seats. I'm by myself with Jamie and her friends. So we're there, and of course they're like 16, 15, whatever. And of course, you can't get alcoholic, drinks. However, you can get stuff like Virgin Marys and shit like that. I think they got like a Virgin strawberry daiquiri or some shit like that. Like they all got, which I've noticed like girls when they're in high school and they go out places like this, they always get the non-alcoholic versions of these drinks because they can't get the alcohol versions of them, but they always get them. That was kind of strange. But we're sitting there in Hard Rock Cafe, which, by the way, don't get Red Bulls there. They're $5 a piece, but there's little small 8-ounce cans. Heads up. But we're sitting there, and she looks at me and asks me with the straightest fucking face, like, okay? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, are you a virgin? I'm like, what the fuck are you asking me that kind of question here? And I told her the truth. I told her, yeah, I'm still him, because I was like 17 at the time. And she's like, oh, and she looked at me like I was lying, like, really? I figured you'd be a guy that at least get some action. And all her friends started giggling. She gave me like this weird smile. And I think that was the point in which I knows, okay, I know where this is going to. She wants to fuck me for sure. And, still trying to get with this other girl. But we come back, and I find out there's this big ballroom dinner. And you had to get a date. All the guys had to get a girl that's a date. You don't have to be dating or anything. You just got to pick a girl to go with. And it's like one of those really formal dinners, which, the guy's supposed to pull out the chair for the girl when she leaves, and when she comes back, pulls the chair back underneath of her. It's supposed to be one of those really fancy get-together shit, which, by the way, I hate those things, because this is not me. But here's the thing, though. The group we went with, there's like 5 guys that are going to be by themselves. And I'm thinking, at least let me be one of those guys who's by himself. So we're sitting there in a hotel room getting ready. We hear a knock. Knock, 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 knock. Then before anyone even opens the door, fucking Jamie busts his door open. And it's like, Jay, you got a date for the dance? For the dinner? I'm like, no. Like, okay, you're going to be my date. And then she leaves, like, you didn't even give me a chance to fucking say yes or no.
Wait, man, I thought your name was John. Are you saying Jay?
Well, everybody who's in my family calls me Jay. People who are not in my family calls me John. Don't ask me why, it's just the way it's been. I
guess. Continue.
But, so I'm figuring, like, well, fuck, I'm screwed. My friend was like, well, wait, you're not screwed yet. I have to go get, my friend tells me, I have to go get, reserved tables for us. 3 tables. Therefore, there's going to be 3 people to go. Pick up the tables. I won't be one of the people who's going to get it. I can switch you spots so you don't have to going to get a date, which the people who go out and get the, the tables, they don't have to have a date. So I'm like, okay, that's true. So we get in the hotel. Here comes one, chaperones for the teacher that took us there. And she's going off, who's with who, who's with what. And it's like, okay, here's the people that are going to get the tables or reserved tables for us. They're going to leave like 15 minutes before us. John. Yep, that's me. Kim. Like, uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. Because Kim is one of Jamie's friends. So she says Kim, like, oh, crap. And then she reads off Jamie. I'm like, fuck me! Damn!
Did you say it out loud?
No, I was singing to myself. I did not say that out loud. I would have gotten so much shit if I did.
I can just imagine that.
Continue.
But anyway, I'm like, well, I guess I'm just shit out of luck. I just gotta suck up and deal with it. So the three of us go down to where the ballroom is at. We gotta wait outside of it, waiting there before they let us in to pick our table. So we're waiting there, and Jamie's right next to me. She's being she's being lovey-dovey, like having a hold on me. She's having Kim take pictures of us. I'm in a really fucking pissed off mood. Paragon Revan is about to turn into Renegade Revan. And she's like all around me. Then she realizes that I'm kind of off, kind of mad. And she said something to me. I don't remember what it was, but I told her, like, "Can you give me some some space, please?" Ooh, Renegade Revan came out, and I shouldn't have done that. Because she went from, oh, yay, hey, Jane, to, oh, no. And I swear, she got off of me, looked the other way, and started crying. And I felt so fucking bad, but I was such a pissy mood, I didn't really care. So they let us in, and I'm like, get that table, and we sit there, we get the tables. Of course, Jamie is now my date somehow, so she sits next to me the whole time, and we're just sitting there, eating, and her mood is starting to get a little bit better. She's not crying anymore. And I said this joke, was this like a really crappy joke. Erin was like, she's over there. Yeah, she's laughing her ass off too. I'm like, it wasn't really that funny. I don't remember. It was some stupid shit. The kind of crap I did. Probably. It might have been a chicken across the road joke. I don't really. Me come back. I go back, and it's getting to the point where this is getting a little bit ridiculous. And right before we're about to go back in our hotel rooms to call it a night, well, there was this dance after dinner. I was kind of making my mind whether to go or not. We come back to the rooms, and she pulls me over to her room. And she's like, thanks for your time, blah, 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 and she kissed me. And I'm like, really? I was like, okay, I'm trying to hook up this other girl, and you're screwing it up. Like, okay, this needs to stop. One of my friends found out about it. He ran off. He told one of the teachers what was going on. And I decided to make my mind to go up to the dance, and actually why. So we're going down there, and a teacher goes up to me like, so what's going on between you and Jamie? And like she's a nice girl and everything, she's alright, but the thing is that trying to come on to me, I got a girl who I'm trying to hook up with. Not her, it's somebody else. And she screwed it up. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll take care of it. We get down to dance. Jamie's there. Jamie comes up to me right before she's about to say something. The teacher grabs her from me, pulls her away, says something to her, and Jamie leaves. And that was it. That was done. It was... Yeah, I don't know what the fuck she said to her, but it fucking worked. Because she did not bar me for the rest of that day or the next day. And the thing is, when we was coming back from Louisville back to school, I was sitting there next to my friend, and every now and then I would like kind of like turn around and like poke a look, and she's like back there with these big sunglasses on, kind of like looking down. And I later found out from her that she spent the whole night crying. Made me feel bad when I found out about it. But I didn't know it at the time, but she had these big sunglasses on, and I could tell she was not in a good mood. But we get back to school. Like, the trip coming back, I never felt so fucking relieved. Like, okay, this whole... Yeah, I felt so light. Actually, yeah, I was listening to Metallica. But, like, I never felt so fucking relieved, man. It was like such a big weight lifted off my shoulders. Like, okay, I don't have to deal with this girl anymore. It's done. It's over with. And then next month, I found out that the girl who I was trying to hook up with, that Laura chick, dude. So I was like, whoa, wow, that whole thing I did was for a fucking night. Now I feel like a complete and total fucking dick. But, you know, I get out of school. I have absolutely no way of getting a hold of her. She has no way of getting a hold of me. I spend the rest of that year, you know, kind of by myself. Next year started. This is in 2009. You know, I'm like kind of reflecting on my school and shit like that. But that whole thing at Louisville kept popping up in my head over and over and over and over again. And the more I thought about it, the more I felt bad about it.
Can't
I'm
hear
like, wow.
anything.
Yeah, you can't? Sorry. Can you hear me now? Junior fan, hello?
I hear you now. I hear
Okay. But you like that? I kind of like mumbled off there for a little bit. Or
you. Yeah, it's like, it's just, you were talking and then it cut out and I couldn't hear you.
oh well, yeah, like the whole 2008, the rest of that year happened because you know she had no way of getting a hold of me. In the start of 2009, I started thinking about my, you know, time I had at school, and I always kept going back to the thing that happened in Louisville, and I always kept thinking to myself, like, wow, that was a really dick move what I did back there. And like, I kind of wish I could like apologize to her and make it up to her, but I had no way of getting a hold of her because I didn't know where she lived at, didn't know her phone number, didn't know anything. But my friend who I'm working with right now, Jimmy, he wanted to go to the graduation of, you know, the classman that was underneath me. I was like, okay, I'll go to the graduation. Whatever. You know, we went there, blah, blah, blah. It was boring. It sucked. Whatever. So we're about to leave. We're in which is way over the fire marshal limit. And it's like 300 people, and there's about like 400 or so people in there. And, you know, we're trying to leave, and I'm, like, right behind Jimmy. And, like, I get a little bit behind him, and all of a sudden the hole closed up of people. I couldn't get through it. So I had to sit there and wait about, like, 30 seconds for everyone to spread out. There's an opening. Okay, I'll go. Right before I left the gym, guess who fucking popped out in the middle of fucking nowhere?
Jamie?
Yeah, she popped out of nowhere, man. It's like, hey, Jane, like, hey, like, I'm actually kind of somewhat glad to see you because I felt bad about everything that happened. And she goes, like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, yeah, pretty good. And she goes, the first thing she tells me, like, yeah, I just got out of a bad relationship. I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Because if you tell the guy I just got a bad relationship, you want to get back in one with that dude. And she's talking to me, is like, well, I have no real way of getting a hold of you anymore. I'm like, well, I got Facebook, you know, you can hold me on there. I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, she kind of disappeared. Like, wow, that was really strange to see her. But, you know, she was still happy to see me. So I figured, okay, this is the second time He really fucking pissed off at me now. Like, if I was her, I would kick myself in the balls, but didn't. At this point, I kind of wish that she did, but whatever. But so about a couple of weeks go by. I go, Dylan, I spend the night at his house. To kind of catch up with him, because he just sitting there chilling at his place. And it's the middle of the night, and he's talking about girls. And, I'm still feeling bad about the thing that happened in Louisville. So I tell him, like, hey, do you got Jamie's phone number? Yeah, I got it. Like, can you, text her and tell her to call me tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And he's sitting there texting her. She texts him. She told him that she still liked me. And she said, you know that I still like him, right? And I'm like, oh, well, that kind of confirmed what I knew from the whole graduation thing. So he gives her my number, which turned out to be a bad idea. So, then the next day she calls me. I spend 2 to 3 hours on the phone with her, just talking to her. And I'm talking to her, blah 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 blah, and I'm texting to her. I think it was a week, maybe 2 weeks after I started talking to her. I don't know what the hell brought it up, but she brought up sex, and I said something back, and it went away from being friends, and now went into fuck buddies. And she had a point, this is middle of June.
Oh shit, I can't hear anything.
Okay. His Xbox is getting tired of hearing the story.
It's his damn connection. He lives in Kentucky, Hey, he has admitted it, though.
There we go. Hello.
And how you doing? I was wondering about that. I couldn't hear you again.
Okay,
fuck buddies, now continue.
Okay, but yeah, the whole thing went from being friends to fuck buddies, and every text we had was about sex. Ooh, let's do this and let's do that, and just fuck in the shower and shit like that. I'm like, wow, this is getting really fucking crazy and out of control. But it confirmed my suspicions. There we go. About how when we were still in school, how she wanted to fuck me, and now I've confirmed it, and I kind of played along the whole thing with her. But I got to the point where I kind of said to myself one night, and I kind of I was outside just talking to myself. I'm like, this is probably not the best thing to do. I want to go ahead and kind of cancel it with her, call it off. So the next day I text her and I told her we probably need to stop doing this because so we kind of stopped talking to her for a couple of weeks. So I was bored. I texted her, started talking again. Now she wants to get into an actual relationship with me. Okay, whatever. I was on June 27th. Oh, wow, you're a fucking stalker. Creepy that you know that day, because I don't even know it. But,
Oh my god.
Continue, please.
Yeah, while we're doing that, I'm creeped out by What If now.
Okay,
I'm
still.
creeped out what if too. But, texting it to each other, and it seems like she wants to have a relationship. We ended up hooking up. This was in early September. So we start hanging out at my house after school. Relationship are progressing. Or that was one of those things we went to then it progressed like that. It went from kissing, making out, her giving me hand jobs while I'm playing Resident Evil 4, to us being completely
Really?
to us being in bed completely naked. I'm in bed with her sucking her tits the whole fucking time, and she's just sitting there getting off to it. I'll have to get to that part, what if? Shut up.
Go on.
But you know, I started getting pressing more and more. And I remember one night, my mom had my car boxed in, so my mom took me and her back to her house, drop her off. And I got out of the car, you know, opened the door for her, let her out, closed the door, and she just starts making out with me with my mom in the car. you know, I'm outside. We're outside the car. My mom's still inside the car. We're there for 15 seconds. And I get back in, and she's like, "What was that all about?" I'm like, "Don't ask." You know, we go back home. I noticed that she left her notebook in my car. So I'm like, I'm going through it, and I get across this one little page. Oh, you're gonna love this. She was, as a notice, guess what the conversation was? And it was about my dick. And she's like, he's got such a huge dick, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you're going to do it with Marcia. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, boy.
Wow.
Then it's the next day. I'm not going to mention the date, because I'm still, you know, it was in September. All I have to tell you is, when it comes to it, just look in the middle of the... But, you know, I wake up in the morning, I'm not feeling good at all. I feel kind of sick. And, you know, I wasn't going to pick her up, but I was committed to the whole thing. So, even though I'm not feeling all good, I'll go pick her up. So I go down there, I pick her up from school. And I tell her, I'll tell you straight up right now, I'm not feeling all that good. Like, oh, really? Because I really want to have sex today. And yeah, you're joking. I know how you are. You're kidding with that. Because, you know how I was telling about how the relationships get more and more sexual? You would tease, a lot. If you, joke about it a lot. But we never actually did anything. So she's going on about having sex. Yeah, you're joking. So, we get back to my place. So, you know, I'm playing my guitar, I'm playing the song, stuff like that. She's sitting in my bed, I'm sitting there playing. I kind of turn, I'll look at the corner of my eye. She's completely topless.
Did you take a picture?
No, I did not take a picture. Shut up, Wallace, I'm getting there.
Go on.
But, you know, I'm done playing the song. She goes why don't you get in bed with me? I'm like, alright, whatever. I'm not feeling good, but might as well. And, you know, we're there, we start making out, and it starts getting more and more things. We're starting to take the church clothes off. Before I realize it, we're completely naked. He whips out a condom, and you can use your imagination. We fucking do it right there.
Did you have fun?
It was hot.
Giggity?
It was fun until I realized that the condom came off. And
oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh god! Oh yeah, after the league race. Oh, Revan, is that where you get the league race post from on Twitter?
League race post on Twitter? What are you talking about?
You remember after the league race?
Shut up and
wait, let me finish.
Yeah,
on Twitter.
Let Kick say this.
Wait, after the F1 league race, I don't know which one, you were like, league race was just like sex. Awesome until you realized you forgot. I forgot what was it. Awesome, then you realized.
Yeah, well, it being my first time, and that being her first time, I didn't put it on right and fell off halfway through. And the thing is, you know when it came off, because it's like, and then all of a sudden it starts feeling really good. There's a big difference between having sex with a condom on and having it off. With it on, it's kind of like, this is okay. Then it comes off like, oh my god, this is awesome.
I'm learning a lot today. I'm learning so much today. I feel very proud. I'm kidding.
She was she was decent. The good thing about it is she had double D tits, which were great.
Giggity.
But, so, I come. I realized the condom came off. Then the whole happiness kind of fell off the cliff. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, I went inside and I realized, oh shit, I think I got this girl pregnant. So we're sitting in the kitchen after we did it. She's doing homework. She realizes, like, what's wrong? And I have to kind of tell her, like, I think it came off halfway through. Ooh, shouldn't have said that. She starts crying. I'm trying to do my best to control the situation. I'm a nervous fucking wreck because she has one of the dads that's like, you knocked up my daughter? You know, the one that shotgun telling rednecks, like, if you knock up his daughter, he's going to kill you. Oh man, I thought I was going to die. I was so fucking nervous. I was so nervous, you had no idea. I couldn't eat that night. I was that nervous. Like, I had this thing of spaghetti, I couldn't eat it at all. I still have a hard time eating spaghetti because of that whole thing.
It brings you that memory. Not one the way Revan had it.
And we take her home. My mom was like, what's wrong with her? And I straight up lied to her, like, oh, she got in a fight with her friends. And my mom totally believed it. So I'm sitting there, you know, by myself at home after we dropped her off that night. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, I hate myself so fucking much right now. That was not worth it. I'm just laying in... Oh, fuck no, I went down the fucking toilet.
Continue.
Fucking bed, like, it still kind of makes me nervous. I'm still out.
Anyways.
Like, I'm laying in bed that night. I won't even sleep on the side of the bed that we did it on. I'm like on the complete opposite side of the bed. I don't even want to touch the bed on that side. I'm like, ugh. But the next morning, she called me. She told me she wasn't pregnant. I was relieved as hell. But then after the whole thing happened, I realized our relationship changed. Because our relationship was actually really good. Until we got to the point in which we, had sex. Then, like, it got so awkward that I couldn't handle it anymore. And I broke up with her the next week. We broke up. She started dating one of my friends. I started getting the feelings for her again. I asked her, we can get back together. She told me no, because she got pregnant with this dude. But she had miscarriage. So that was in 2009. We moved over to 2010. This is now in July. Then all of a sudden, the guy that she was with, one of my friends, disappeared. This guy completely is gone off the face of the map. No one has seen him.
Like he's gone missing, or he got like murdered or shot her?
Yeah, he is gone. No one knows where he's at. No one's talked to him. She breaks up with him. She knows that I still like her. There was like this 4th of July celebration in town where I went to school at. We hooked up there, and it's like nothing happened. We was back together because I actually want to get back with her because I felt bad because I broke up with her. Kind of broke her heart.
And you almost got her pregnant.
And then I almost got her pregnant. So 2 days later, we hook up again. And when I'm driving her back, I realized, okay, this girl is even more horny than what she was. We're going to fuck, and which we did that day, like all day. That's all we did. One day was have sex. Yeah, first time I put it on right. The second time, we was out of them. So like, well, let's just do it raw dog. So I had to pull out early because I'm like, woo, 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 don't want to get pregnant.
Good choice.
Like, I don't want to have that, scare again, so I pulled out really early. She looked at me, she was like so bad, and she was like, I didn't feel like I was loved. I'm like, how am I supposed to make you feel loved? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, which is probably why she broke up with me the next week. And after that, I haven't seen or really talked to her ever again since that day. I've texted her a couple of times, but I've never actually sat down and talked to her. And this one dude now she's with for like the last 2 years now.
Is that the end of the story or no?
Pretty much. I tried talking to her, and I kind of want to get back with her, but it's at the point now I've let it go. But yeah, that's kind of the end of the story.
So, Revan, if you did get her pregnant, what would you do? Would you kill yourself?
No, I want to kill myself.
What would you do though?
Take care of the kid. And even though I'll be really mad and depressed with myself. At the point, I had to put on my big boy pants and realize, okay, you fucked up. You need to take care of it. You got Falcon punch right in the gut. That'd be terrible.
It's sad how many kids these days get pregnant. Like, there's this freshman at my school, and she's 14. She already has a child.
Damn. Hey, how long was that? Oh, you want me to do Final Five?
It was actually a very interesting story.
But anyway.
The thing is about this girl, I've been told that she's changed. But back when I was, around her, there was a point where she was kind of a hard drinker and parties a lot. I did know one time when she was dating my friend, this was between the first and second time I dated her, went to a party, got drunk, fucked some random dude, but she still remained with that one dude. I think the reason why she broke with me the second time, because there was a party Saturday night, and this was like during a cup race at Chicagoland, when Revan won. And I told her, like, I'll go, but I want to watch the race. She's like, oh, they should be playing it. So I was going to pick her up, take her to the party, but I didn't have any gas. So I got gas to take her there. She told me, oh, don't worry about it, I got chores to do. So if I can't go. I'm like, okay, whatever. Then I found out that she did win. I called her, and I'm like, yo, I sounded like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It was like 2-minute phone call because she was in the middle of some line. And I'm about to hang up with her, and I'm like, okay, I love you, talk to you later. And she was like, all right. She just didn't say love me back, which really made me mad. She hung up. I think what happened was one of her ex-boyfriends was there. I think she got drunk, had sex with him. I told her one time before if she did that to me, because this is after she did it the first time with the other guy, I told her if she did that to me, I would have broke up with her. And I think that's what she did. She was too afraid to tell me, and she knew I was going to break up with her. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Yeah.
So you haven't talked to her ever since?
I've texted her, stuff like that. We talked a little bit, but I haven't actually met her face to face and talked. I don't even recognize her anymore. She would probably recognize me. I wouldn't recognize her.
Do you think she's a whore?
I don't think she is now. I think I kind of legit say that she has changed, but I haven't been around her, so I don't know for sure.
Well, I learned a lot what to do and what not to do in a relationship now. And one thing is not to make sure that you put the condom.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say. Don't fuck on the first date. Wait at least a couple of months. At least a month.
I also learned how to make sure you put a condom on, right? Where you... What was a very entertaining hour and 5
Well,
minutes?
it's because Revan kept on lagging out of the party.
Yeah, that lagging now, like, it's still over an hour. Well, if you want to go ahead and upload that now.